Hello everyone, welcome back. In the last two videos, we covered how to pull your active English learner data and your monitoring student data from eSchool. Today, we're going to tackle the last big piece of the puzzle, getting your students' ELPA21 summative scores from the Atlas portal and dropping them right into your LPAC Easy Docs spreadsheet. This one is a little different because we're working in a completely different system, but I promise it's just as straightforward. Let's get into it. Don't forget that you also have this handout, which you can reference in your customer documents folder as well, though these will be the steps that we will be working through. Go ahead and navigate to the Atlas portal in the reporting section. Once you're logged in, you want to head to your home screen and reporting, and we're going to click Download Student Results on the far right of the screen. Now you'll have a few options to set up before you generate your report. Let's go through them one by one. For report type, we're going to keep the student data file. For report format, you can choose XLS or CSV. I'm going to leave it on XLS, and I'm going to do a data file for each test. Next, we need to select ELPA21 summative. Then we're going to select all subjects, and finally select all students. Now we're going to click Generate and let the report run. Once it's ready, you will go to the Secure File Center to download your data file. It will be a zipped folder, so once you download it, you will need to extract it, and you'll have an individual file for each grade level. Keep in mind that you might need to upload those files to your Google Drive if you do not have Excel on your device. All right, I've got one of the grade levels open. This is going to be my sample data set. Please note that I have changed student names, birth dates, and ID numbers to protect student privacy. This is all just sample data. A couple of things to keep in mind before we start copying anything. I like to go ahead and freeze the top row, and I like to freeze the first column. This way, when I scroll up and down or sideways, I don't lose my headers and I know which each field is that I'm looking at. First, and just keep this in mind, the grade level shown in this spreadsheet is the grade the student just completed, not the grade they're going into. So if you're setting up for next school year, just keep that in mind as you're matching students to the right tab in your LPAC Easy Docs template. Second, if you have multiple campuses at the same grade level, for example, I have 3 different elementaries, make sure you sort this data by campus before you do anything else. When I downloaded my spreadsheet, my student data was already sorted by campus. You want all your students grouped by school so they line up correctly when you paste. And this is really important. Before you paste a single column, take a moment to confirm that your students in the ELPA data spreadsheet are in the same order as your LPAC Easy Docs spreadsheet. That way, when you copy and paste, you're pasting the data to the correct student. If there's any changes, I would just drag those students around. All right, so again, this is my sample ELPA data. And from this spreadsheet, I'm going to be able to get the information that I need, but I also already got most of this from eSchool. So the things that I really need to pay attention to are the enrolled school, so I put it on the correct tab. The test reason, these should all be summative since I got this out of the summative download. Date taken, I'm going to use this when I paste into the spreadsheet, and then I'm going to get their scores. Now, before you start copying and pasting, one, we want to make sure that we're always copying and pasting the words for each category. We are not going to use the scores. Second, on the Easy Doc template, we have the domains going from listening, speaking, reading, and writing, because that is typically the order students first start showing proficiency. Usually listening is proficient first, followed by speaking, then reading, then writing. So I want to get this spreadsheet in the same order. So right now, here is listening, but I want speaking to be the next column. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click at the top and get the little hand, and then I'm going to drag it. So now I have listening and speaking. Next, I want reading. And finally, I want writing. I will also be using the progressing and emerging overall proficiency category over here. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by looking, and in this spreadsheet, my campus, Sydney Diener, is listed first. So I have over here in my sample data spreadsheet, I also have it set up with my different campuses. And I've got Cindy Diener. Now, I was able to screen our incoming kindergarten students at the end of their pre-K year, so that's why some students say the screener. Now, again, this is the second grade data, so these are going to be next year's third graders. So I'm going to look quickly just at the order that the students are in. These are in alphabetical, and I'm going to make sure that this was also the same. It is, and it goes from row 2 to row 13. I don't need the student name, but I'm just highlighting that to show where they are. So the first thing I want is the date the test was taken. So I'm going to highlight that down to that same row. I'm going to Control C to copy that data. Then I'm going to come over and I'm going to find the date, the test date, and I'm going to come down to the start of my third graders. I'm going to click in the top box and click Control Shift and the V. That will keep my formatting, and there is my test date. These were all the summative tests. I can click that on each one, or I can click on a box, do Control C to copy it, select the other boxes, Control V, and paste it. So now I really want to get their test scores. So I'm going to come back, and the first thing I'm going to get is their overall proficiency level. So again, I want these students all the way down to row 13. I'm going to Control C and copy. I'm going to come and make sure that I line up with those same students right here. Make sure that I get my third graders, starting with Tomas. I'm going to do Control Shift V, and then there are their overall categories. Because I've moved listening, speaking, reading, writing to the same order as my other spreadsheet, I can come and copy all of those at the same time. Control C, come over, click in that first corner box, Control Shift V, and then there are all their individual domains. And again, I can just do a spot check to make sure that things are matching up. These are all beginning, emerging. These are all proficient scores, proficient. And it's that simple. So then I would just continue moving to the next group of students in this spreadsheet. So my next campus on here are my McCrae students. So I will get these second graders. Remember, they'll be my third graders next year, and paste their data to their spreadsheet. And then my West Side students, paste them to their spreadsheet. I would then just continue opening the different spreadsheets of my ELPA data that I downloaded from Atlas, freeze those couple rows, move those columns over, and paste it over. And that's it for the Atlas portal import. To recap one more time, download your student data file from the ELPA21 dashboard, sort by campus, confirm your student order matches in both spreadsheets, then copy over those 6 columns: test date, proficiency level, and the 4 domain scores using Control plus Shift plus V. Once you've completed all 3 imports, your active ELs from eSchool, your monitoring students from eSchool, and now your ELPA21 scores from Atlas, your LPAC Easy Docs spreadsheet is ready to go for the year. It would be at this point that you could now download that CSV file, download comma separated value on your template, and you will have everything that you need to upload to the LPAC Easy Docs tool to create your LPAC documentations for your teachers with supports, accommodations, and their most recent test data. As always, if you run into any questions, send us an email. And again, we hope that LPAC Easy Docs is able to help you simplify your ELL paperwork process.